So while we're patiently waiting on whether or not if the developers are going to be announcing a stream, and if there is a stream going to be happening, then I think by tomorrow afternoon an announcement should go out, because obviously the last time they did a stream announcement, it was the day before. Well, technically it was on a Friday they announced it, but the stream was on a Sunday, and then obviously following the Thursday/Friday is when we had the update for Toshiro. Of course, Aizen was done in a different manner because of how hype he is, I assume. We'll see going forward with the Gin update on whether or not if they commit to doing it at the same time. I think it's fair if they do it at the same time, so that way everyone can get involved and hype together and whatnot. So, but again, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, just before I get ahead of myself, I'm gonna give you guys the cheat codes to help anyone out in terms of the next set of Aizen's story. So these are the orders that you want to put the cutscenes in. There you go. Just kind of pause the video if you guys need to see where which image goes in where. Unless you already know it, then hey, do as you please. And then I'll also show you guys the cheat code for the big puzzle. And then just quickly, if you guys want to know what the second set of map is looking like, so pretty much down here is going to be the ally for Urahara. Then you go up, and then that's going to be the subordinate, of course, or superior subordinate, of course, but you won't need to worry about that. Going across Aizen, again, will be for in here. Going up top, this translates to betray, so it will be the last option for you guys, and then that will be the character on hand, and then subordinate/superior up here, and then the two remaining characters up here, and then book friend on the left hand side. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is, yeah, the second set of characters and where to be placed. Okay, so huge shout out to Stardust Leaks. They have been they've been informing us about Rangiku. Hopefully they can keep it going and informing us on Gin or future characters, you know, depending on who is after Gin, because we don't know in terms of the lineup after. But Rangiku is looking, well, she looks fairly interesting, not to say the least. I'm very curious to see whether or not if this is going to be subbed out, and if this, I mean, it looks like continuous attack. That's going to be something that she'll benefit from to do more damage. It seems like there's going to be some... Wait, are they taking DOT damage? Am I crazy? So that will also allow us to do more thrust damage by the looks of it. So that's going to be awesome. So that looks like we can sub in and out, right? Go into someone else and then let her continue on that attack. Nice little area control too. Kind of holds that down, which is very nice. I'm not gonna lie, the damage output is pretty nice. I don't know to what level or what's going on here, but that damage output looks pretty decent, I will say. Oh wait, they are taking damage over time. I'm not going crazy. Pop. Okay, so there's some form of DOT play on. Oh wait, hold on a minute. What was that? Wait, I just seen something here. Because I don't think they've got it applied. Oh no, they do have it applied. Oh, that's Tozen. Okay, I was about to say, is that Rangiku throwing some daggers? And then I realized no, that's Tozen's backfoot skill. He throws. He's probably spawning in the back that we can't see him. Let me see. Yeah, he's probably like behind us, camera angle wise. But yeah, so that's kind of like the current gameplay that we have right now of Rangiku. So that's the skill being applied there. Okay, that's the ultimate right there. Okay, so that's the skill and the ultimate kind of being combined as one. So, to give us a better understanding on what is going on, so this is the duping side of it. So every time Ash Blade hits an enemy, Rangiku gains 2.5 ultimate energy. Every time Ash Blade hits an enemy, Rangiku gains 2.5 ultimate energy. I assume the Ash Blade is whatever is above these enemies, because that looks like ashes to me in a blade form. So as long as we're hitting the enemy, you know, it seems that the ultimate will regen a lot quicker, which is, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. If you typically look at support characters, ult chasing is typically the thing. Well, it's the route that I go with. Okay, so that's fine. Second dupe, the passive Hanako assist that grants teammates extra attack equal to 20% of Rangiku's attack. We knew about this already, I'm pretty sure. I remember reading something like that. Unless I'm tripping, unless I'm thinking of someone else. But yeah, we're gonna have to push for Rangaku's attack. That's something that we're gonna cater to. And then going over to the fourth dupe, every time Ash Blade hits an enemy, subsequent Ash Blade damage increases by 10% for 15 seconds, stacks up to 10 times. So that's a nice little 100% right there. And then lastly, technique, drag range expands and damage increases by 100%. Cool, yeah, that's more of an area control. So it seems that in terms of Rangiku's damage output and her ultimate play, it's pretty much everything but the second dupe. The second dupe is where she further supports the teammates in allowing them to do more damage, of course. And then right at the bottom, Stardust said that probably they'll publish the full kit if they're not lazy. Fingers crossed they do. Fingers crossed they do, because I would really love to see on how this Rangiku is working. Because at the end of the day, Momo, again, hopefully you guys have been working on Momo, but she is one hell of a character. This is why I say SR units are, I mean, I've already spoken about how great SR units are, but like for Aizen, especially in like getting critical hit rate, she is just a fantastic support to have. So I'm very much looking forward to these SR characters. And just a reminder, when it comes to the weapon stamp of Rangiku, every time the enemy is hit by Ash Blade, the thrust damage they receive increases by 1.2% for 15 seconds, stacks up to 10 times. Release Rangiku's technique to switch character immediately, but Rangiku will remain on the field, channeling until the effect reaches its peak. So it's basically giving you that Byakuya vibe to it, right? When you activate Byakuya's technique, he's still in the field, getting ready to charge that attack and then sends it off. So something similar to that's going to be happening, but again, more support for the thrust element to do more damage, aka Gin. Core Stamp increases Rangiku's ultimate energy charge rate, by 15%. So again, more support to gathering her ultimate more quicker. So if you do actually apply the ult charge on her stamp kit, then yeah, it's kind of a given that her ult is going to be charging extremely fast. And then increases ultimate damage by 30% and inflicts 4 extra stacks of Heineken Mark on the enemy. I assume the Heineken Mark is going to do something on the line of allowing us to do more damage. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Fingers crossed that is the case. Maybe it's going to be some DOT play. We'll have to wait and see when we get the full kit. Now, the increase in ultimate damage, I'm hoping that's kind of like an overall basis, but I suspect it's only going to be affecting Rangiku, which I can't complain. You know, if she's getting her ultimate a lot more quicker, then we'll take the sub DPS damage. Although, I mean, on the video, it did show like 300k damage being applied right there, so yeah, it looks promising to me. It looks promising to me. We'll take it. So at the beginning of December, this is what was found, and it seems that it could be keeping on, but in terms of Rangiku's ult, Rangiku guides the fast-spinning Heineken to create a huge tornado, as we just saw, pulling enemies within a large area into dealing damage equal to 300% of attack and inflicting 4 stacks of Heineken Mark on the enemy hit. After the skill is released, all teammates deal 8% more thrust damage for 20 seconds. And it seems that by getting that to level 9, it will be at 14.4 more thrust damage for 20 seconds. So the ultimate itself, once we activate it, so actually that's why we're ult charging a lot quicker now. If you get it to level 13, it goes to 17.6%. Ah, right. So again, we don't know what the Heineken Mark is or what that does. So we're still kind of waiting on that through the passive. That's where we'll get the info. But the ult charge now explains why that's the case, and it's further supporting the thrust element even more to do damage on that part. I just double checked the core stamp and whatnot. Everything seems to be the same, so I suspect that's kind of what they're going with. So honestly, for a thrust support, this Rangiku is coming across as a solid character, kind of like similar in a Momo fashion in terms of being like a sub DPS unit, because Momo has some damage. Well, she's kind of built herself in a way where she also does some damage. Her ultimate does some more damage, of course, when built up and whatnot. So it seems like they're kind of running with that similar fashion, but it seems that with Rangiku, she doesn't have that universal usage that Momo has, because obviously Momo is more of a lower Urahara, as I like to say, but it seems that Rangiku is full on just supporting the mono thrust elements. But that is as far as we're aware, so that is Rangiku so far to what we know of. Not a character to be slept on. We know how the SR supports are running the game, and how much they kind of alleviate pressure in terms of when having to run multiple teams in certain modes. Of course, they do truly help out on kind of spreading apart, making different teams, and still doing their job and supporting the team to the best of their ability. So for the thrust element, Rangiku is going to be an absolute treat, most definitely. Yeah, a big treat. Anyway, and we'll see if her kits drops tomorrow, and we'll see if the stream announcement happens.